I'm watching a show on HBO called Young Sheldon, which is a really funny sitcom about a kid who's a genius and his family. And I've just been hooked on this show since I started watching it. There are like 7 seasons. Uh, and it's kind of hard to explain what I like about it. I'm not even sure I know myself. The episodes are really short. They're like 20 minutes. So it's easy to go through them. And it's totally clean. There's no swearing. There's no sex. Like it's the cleanest. It's like Leave It to Beaver. Just, a more modern version. I think it's set in like the 90s basically. So it's a throwback, and I like that. Uh, and it's, a time when um, kind of more traditional, I guess, uh, gender roles were still alive, but they were starting to crack. And so, you've got this father who's kind of like the man of the house, and he's trying to hold it all together, but he can't quite hold it all together. You got the mother who's really the one holding it all together. Plus, she's trying to have a career, and they argue about things, and then the kids are kind of like growing up in that and having their own ideas, and they're like the next stage, and you can see them like learning new ideas. So it's just there's something about it. It's on the one hand really simple, but also really deep at the same time. And there are a lot of really touching moments. It's hilarious. Like it's just the other thing that's incredible is it's so funny, and there's no swearing. There's no dirty content. It's totally clean, and it's hilarious. So I think that makes the writing genius. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Again, like really like simple content. It's not about aliens. It's not about, again, there's no sex, there's no drugs, there's barely any rock and roll. It's just like it's so simple. There's nothing outlandish, and yet it's hilarious. Um, and they come up with these really funny situations, and every character is really interesting. Uh, and hmm, it's very touching. Uh, they just had a scene in the last episode that I watched, or a tornado ran through Texas. Uh, they live in Texas, and so tornadoes are kind of like a normal part of life there. So every once in a while, they have a tornado, and it's kind of like a staple of the show. And I've never lived in a place where tornadoes are prevalent, so it's like, oh wow, like this happens. Like there are parts of the world. There's a part of the U.S. where you actually have to worry about this thing called a tornado that can come and sweep up your car, can kill you, can destroy your house. And it's like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, you know, every part of the US kind of has its thing. California has wildfires and, mudslides. Southeast has hurricanes. The Midwest has, tornadoes. North has like extreme cold and snow storms. New England's really the only place that doesn't have, anything crazy like they have all the four seasons and stuff. But yeah, it's just this amazing thing that like comes and can totally like destroy your life in the course of a day or half a day. It's so weird. Like this force of nature that's totally beyond human control. And you're just going along living your life. And the next thing you know, your house is gone, or your car is totaled, or somebody you know is dead. I mean, like, and it's not like a steady, gradual thing that kind of builds up and you can protect against it and get ready. Like you can't. Like it's this sudden thing out of the blue that's totally more powerful than anything that you can do against it. And yeah, it just has the power to totally upturn your life. And that's not something that I've really ever encountered. There are certainly parts of the world where that's the case, like, the Middle East. Palestine is a place like that right now. Ukraine is a place like that right now. It's like we live this life that we feel, we're, kind of in control, or we can fool ourselves into thinking we're in control, or like if something bad's going to happen, we can prepare for it. But then every once in a while, like there's something that kind of reminds you that we're just fooling ourselves. We're not in control. That like nature or life or the world is in control, and we're just kind of guests. And tornadoes are like that. Yeah. But this show is, I guess in its own way, a force of nature, just really simple and beautiful and funny and touching. It's like an incredible work of art.